The wind tore across the crimson dunes like a living beast, hurling grains of sand sharp as razors against her skin. She stumbled forward, every breath a struggle, each step sinking into the endless desert. Lightning arced across the sky, and for a brief, terrifying moment, she thought she saw the horizon split in two. But that was only the beginning. Her name was Kayla. A xenobiologist exiled to the desert world of Thraxis for a discovery that could have toppled galactic governments. She had thought she was prepared, data modules, survival rations, a compact exosuit, but nothing could prepare her for the storm that now swallowed her whole. She ducked behind a jagged rock formation, barely keeping herself upright. And then in the shadows she saw it, the outline of a figure, impossible and alive, moving against the gale. A human. She froze. Every logical part of her mind screamed that it couldn't be real. The planet was barren, monitored by orbital drones, abandoned for decades. The presence of a human implied rescue, or danger. But what she saw next changed everything. He was looking at her, with eyes wide in equal parts fear and recognition. The man didn't speak. He simply extended a hand, and in the storm's fury, it was the only lifeline she could cling to. She ran toward him, slipping, falling, sand scraping against her face until she was pressed against him, his body a solid shield against the chaos. I thought no one survived out here, she gasped, her voice swallowed by the roar of the wind. Neither did I, he replied, his voice raw, human, and oddly comforting. But I guess fate has a sense of irony. Microhook. Why was a living human here when all records said the colony had been wiped out decades ago? They took shelter in a cavern hidden beneath the rocks. The walls glowed faintly with bioluminescent fungi, casting eerie shadows. Kayla finally had the chance to study him. Lean, battle-scarred, with a pendant she recognized, a symbol of the Lost Earth Expeditionary Force. My name's Jaren, he said. And I've been hiding, waiting. I thought I was the last human alive here. Kayla's pulse raced. He could be a trap. He could be an alien experiment. But he wasn't, he was human. She realized with a chilling clarity that survival alone wasn't the story. There was more, a secret in the desert that had kept him alive. Something forbidden. Something alien. Days passed as the storm raged outside and Kayla and Jaren shared stories. He spoke of the desert's hidden dangers, crystalline creatures that fed on human thoughts, automated sentinel drones that hunted anyone who strayed from the mapped territories, and a hidden alien enclave that called itself the Thraxi Dominion. Microhook. Why had the Dominion spared Jaren when all other humans were eradicated? Kayla's training demanded skepticism, but the man's presence stirred something she hadn't felt in years: hope. They scavenged old ruins, piecing together fragments of a civilization more advanced than she had imagined. Massive metallic towers, long dormant, hummed with dormant energy, and strange alien glyphs pulsed faintly beneath the sand. And then she saw it, a living alien. Unlike any Terran species. It resembled a fusion of crystal and insect, its translucent wings catching light that shouldn't exist on Thraxis. Its eyes, impossibly intelligent, fixed on them. Kayla froze. Jaren stepped forward. I think it's waiting for us, he whispered. Or testing us. The alien's voice didn't come through sound but directly into their minds, a resonance that made their bones ache. Why have you come, humans? Kayla's mind raced. Was it hostile? Curious? Or something in between? Microhook. Could this alien hold the secret to why Jaren survived, or worse, the key to humanity's end? The alien introduced itself as Mirith, a sentinel of the Thraxi Dominion, tasked with judging intruders for the sins of their species. It had observed Earth's collapse, the human expansion, the wars, and had decided that all but one human would be erased. Jaren's survival wasn't a miracle, it was a test. Kayla's heart pounded. And the rest of humanity? She asked. They are shadows. Memories of a failed race. You, Miritha's thoughts pressed into hers like ice, are the exception. But choice must be proven. Jaren's hand found hers, grounding her. Choice. Survival? What did that mean? Together, they explored the ruins beneath the sand, finding a chamber pulsating with energy. It contained a device, ancient yet functional, that could either restore humanity to the stars or annihilate what little remained. But to activate it, they had to confront Miritha's tests. Navigating shifting mazes, resisting mental illusions, and making impossible moral choices, sacrificing themselves or the other. The first trial shattered their trust. Hallucinations forced them to relive past regrets. Kayla saw the lab accident that had killed her mentor. Jaren saw comrades he couldn't save, crushed under alien machinery. Every failure burned through their willpower, leaving only desperation. Microhook. Could they survive the aliens' judgment, or would their humanity end here in the sands? Halfway through, Kayla discovered a hidden truth that changed everything. Jaren had not been randomly spared. Mirith had been studying him because he carried a unique genetic anomaly, a dormant gene capable of interfacing with the Dominion's technology. He was the key. Jaren recoiled. So, I'm a tool? No, Kayla said, gripping his arm. You're the only hope. The revelation came at the cost of their peace. Trust faltered, emotions clashed, and the aliens' trials intensified. But amid fear and doubt, something remarkable happened. They adapted. Together, human emotion countered alien logic. Jaren's intuition guided the device's activation. Kayla's knowledge of biology and alien technology merged to stabilize the energy matrix. Microhook. What would happen when human instinct faced alien calculation? Finally, they reached the apex of the trial, a room where Mirith itself waited, wings shimmering like starlight, crystalline limbs moving with impossible grace. The device hummed behind them, ready to either resurrect or annihilate. You have chosen wisely or perhaps foolishly, Mirith's thoughts pressed upon them, but choice defines species. Will you act in self-interest or preserve the memory of your kind? Kayla's eyes met Jaren's. In that moment, every fear, every loss, every hope they had fought for coalesced into a single decision. They reached for the device, not for power, not for survival, but for each other, and for the fragile thread of humanity left in the galaxy. The energy surged, blinding and beautiful. The sandstorm outside calmed as if the planet itself exhaled. When the light faded, Mirith stood silent, wings folding in a gesture almost like respect. You have chosen differently than expected, it said. Humanity may yet endure. But understand this, choice carries consequence. You are now the bridge. Kayla and Jaren stumbled out of the ruins, holding hands, bodies bruised, minds weary. The desert stretched before them, silent, empty, but alive with possibility. The storm had passed. Microhook. Could they now lead humanity back from extinction, or were they merely survivors of a greater cosmic trial? Jaren turned to her. We did it. Kayla shook her head, a small laugh breaking through exhaustion. No, we're not done. We've only begun. They climbed the dune, watching the sun crest the horizon. Beneath it, faint signals pulsed from the ruins, the remnants of Mirith's technology reaching into the void. A promise, or a warning? Kayla's eyes met Jaren's again. For the first time in decades, she felt hope not as a theory, not as survival, but as a living thing. And she understood what Mirith had meant. Humanity's future depended not on technology, nor on gods, nor on aliens, but on the choices of imperfect humans. The wind shifted. A single grain of sand sparkled in the sun, like a star fallen to the desert. Kayla reached out, letting it settle in her palm. She looked at Jaren. And we'll face it, together, she said. The desert was silent, but for the first time, it felt like it was listening. And in that silence, Kayla realized that even among infinite stars, the human heart was the most extraordinary force in the galaxy.